Hi everybody, I hope you're doing well. Kirsty here to bring you a collective reading. This is for Divine Counterparts. So felt very much that the energy was calling me to do this reading for Divine Counterparts. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take some general cards as an overview, and then I'm going to look at Divine Counterparts who are together in union, and then Divine Counterparts in separation. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. This is not going to resonate for everybody. The collective is vast and we are all in unique situations, so don't try and make something fit that doesn't. Important for me to say that straight off the bat. Only apply it to your situation if it resonates for you. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Gilded Tarot Royale. That was calling to me first of all, Sovereign deck. So we're going to use that for the initial general overview. Okay, so this is for Divine Counterparts. Let's see what is going on for Divine Counterparts. So this is Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine. Roles can be reversed, take it as it applies as I'm saying it. We've got those qualities within us. This is representative of connections, relationships with others. And let's see what we have coming through. This is for Divine Counterparts. Already from the pure white light. We've got one that flipped out. Very interesting, because this came out yesterday in a different deck for the general collective reading. We've got the Queen of Wands here, fire energy. Okay, let's see what else we have. This is general for Divine Counterparts. What do we need to know? Thank you. Oh, wow. Lovers in reverse. And then these two came out together, Eight of Cups in reverse with the Knight of Pentacles. Hidden energy, Ace of Swords in reverse. Strength underneath that in reverse. So we've got Wands, Cups, Pentacles. We've got Swords in the hidden energy, so all of the elements are accounted for. And we have one major arcana, which is Gemini energy, the Lovers. Now, setting the intention, of course, with this being Divine Counterpart reading. Not surprising, we have the Lovers here. However, it is in reverse. So there could be a bit of disharmony at the moment, whether Divine Counterparts are together in union or whether they are in separation. There is some disharmony, and we can dive deeper into that. But of course, starting off with the Queen of Wands, this is somebody who is a sovereign being in their own right, who is holding that Ace of Wands, ready to go after what she wants. Of course, it's depicted differently in the different decks. Yesterday in the collective reading, which was the general reading, was all about owning the sovereignty, being on the throne as a sovereign being, confident that the Queen of Wands manifests that which she desires, Wands action, what you want to go towards. So this, when it comes to Divine Counterpart connections, could be the passion, because Wands can also represent passion. This is almost saying that there is that desire to go after what you or another person wants in a connection, but there is a bit of disharmony currently. What I'm drawn to actually on the Queen of Wands is the dog as well. So there is loyalty there, but there is a bit of disharmony because there is something that needs to be walked away from. Now, what that thing is up to whoever is in the situation, because only you know if it's resonating for you what that might be. But because it's Cups energy, this is something that is not emotionally fulfilling. It's not making you happy. So that could be a connection with somebody else, not within the Divine Counterpart connection. It could be a friendship, it could be something relating to family, it could be a job, it could be a project, it could just be something that's not really making you feel fulfilled, because Cups energy is all about our emotions, feeling fulfilled. I'm trying to say everything all at once. There we go. Spirit's trying to slow me down. So there we go. Perhaps there is that frantic energy going on at the moment, but certainly a need to walk away. Now, interestingly, we've got the moon here, and that kind of looks quite full. We've got the full moon coming up on the 7th of March. Big day because of Saturn moving into Pisces as well. So that could be significant, but there is a need to walk away from something that is not emotionally fulfilling, and receiving that illumination, of course, that is the case, because perhaps that's what's leading to the disharmony. And the disharmony is in between that Queen of Wands and the Eight of Cups in reverse. We have the Knight of Pentacles that came out with that Eight of Cups in reverse. So when you look at the two together as clarifiers for each other, there is this movement towards stability. Knights are movement cards, but also messengers. So it could be that a message is wanting to come through to you from an earth sign or somebody that embodies that energy, but there is a need to move away from something that's not emotionally fulfilling, to allow that message, to allow that offering to come through, to allow movement to a more stable beginning. It feels more of a movement card to me, just intuitively on that, but take it as it applies. So clearly, one or both of you in a situation need to walk away from something that is not making you happy, that is not emotionally fulfilling, in order to move towards more stability. Because that way, the only card here that's Major Arcana in reverse, so heavy energy because it's Major Arcana, is, you know, disharmony can be flipped then into the upright position. But there is that need to walk away from something because this is also in reverse. So I hope that makes sense. Of course, in the hidden energy, that clarity is needed. Some kind of truth, some kind of epiphany is needed. It could be just underneath the surface waiting to be discovered because it was in the hidden energy. So clarity is going to come in to enable you to recognize, or your person to recognize, what it is that you or they need to walk away from in order to move in the direction of stability. And remember, Knight of Pentacles, slowest knight of the deck, but the most reliable. And that's moving in the direction of also what you and your person, both of you, one of you, want, to then allow this disharmony to turn into harmony and a beautiful, loving connection. Right, that's the general side of it. So let's have a look with the Lightseers Tarot at Divine Counterparts who are in union already. Okay, so let's see what we have. Divine Counterparts in union. One didn't want to go in the deck. Wow, cycle close out. Okay. Let's have a look. Divine Counterparts in union. Now that one just didn't want to go back in the deck when I was shuffling it, okay? So we'll park it. Fixed energy on that. Wow, wow, wow. The Wheel and the Fool in reverse. Wow. Major Arcana times 3. So Divine Counterparts who are in union together, if you are experiencing any disharmony at the moment, take it as applies. It's not going to resonate for everybody, but there is some sort of cycle closeout that's going on, and that's not necessarily within your connection. This is about a cycle closeout of something that is not emotionally fulfilling, if I can pick the card up, because we saw that in the general overview. That's what it feels like to me. But with the Wheel coming out with the Fool, again, as clarifiers for each other, it's certainly time to get this wheel turning. It is turning. So that's the sun shining through now. It is turning. There is that element of balance, because when I look at that card, I see divine masculine, divine feminine on each side. And I'm also very much drawn, certainly in this deck, to me, and I know as I'm recording it, the camera might be flipped, so you see the reverse, but I see the Jupiter glyph symbol. That's just what I see when I look at that pose. So there's balance, of course, balance with the masculine feminine, and the fact that she is poised on a stack of wheels, not just one. So there is confidence in being balanced and poised and ready for the next step, the next part of the journey. But the Jupiter glyph that I see, it offers that expansive energy as well in terms of what's coming next. But perhaps a little bit of a fear or resistance or hesitancy around taking a leap into what that might be. So they are quite opposite, because this is very much saying I'm confident and I'm balanced. I'm not afraid of falling, even though all of these, you know, look, is that very sturdy? You know, very much kind of confident and comfortable, being balanced in order to embrace that risk, in order to embrace the expansion. But the Fool in reverse is almost fear of taking a leap. So they are kind of like the polar opposites there. There could be something that you know is going to allow the wheel to turn, but a little bit of hesitancy. So there could just be some fears around that. And that's why the cycle needs to close out. Because if fears are attached to something that's not emotionally serving, and that's what needs to be walked away from, then that will then allow the wheel to turn and allow the Fool energy to then become confident in terms of taking a new leap. Also, it does make me realise that with the wheel turning, it's sort of allowing for that momentum, allowing for that flow, allowing for that momentum. And of course, we did have a movement card with the Knight of Pentacles there as well. On the bottom, another movement card, the Chariot, another major arcana. Wow. This is just, oh, and underneath that, the star. So you've got the major arcanas going on here. So there is movement. So hidden energy, there is movement. And we can see that with the wheel turning, there is movement and there is great hope in relation to rebirth. Now, what does the star come after? It comes after the Tower. So Tower moments that have been going off left, right and centre. It may have been impacting on your divine counterpart connection, those of you in union, because this is for those in union already. But the star comes in after that change to allow rebirth, to allow healing. It offers hope, fresh beginnings. It's Aquarian energy. This is Cancer energy, if that resonates at all. And so in the hidden energy, it's saying, you know, underneath this movement, there is that hope, there is that expansion, there is that opportunity for healing. But perhaps some towers have been going off, which is why there is this sort of need to close something out, because the tower's revealed something, and also why there's a bit of hesitancy, because the tower could have brought something up to the surface, needs to close out. Once that's closed out, that can then turn into the upright position, allow that movement forward with that expansive energy. And wow, look at that. Major arcanas all over this reading for you, divine counterparts in union. Whoop. Libra energy, fairness, justice, equality, balance, divine justice, and underneath that, Queen of Wands, underpinning all of that, Queen of Wands energy, who we saw right at the beginning of the overview. So absolutely movement towards that which you are desiring, that which you are wanting, and not allowing anything else that is not emotionally fulfilling to stand in the way of this. Wow, okay. Major arcana, fixed energy, and, you know, ×2. And then we've got sort of Aries energy, Aquarius energy, Cancer energy, Libra energy, lots of fire energy there as well. So let's have a look at the Moonology deck. Okay, this is for divine counterparts who are in union. Divine counterparts in union. Okay, divine counterparts in union. In reverse, be bold and make the first move. Yeah, there's something that needs to be put into action, which again is symbolic of this Queen of Wands energy that's showing up, and the Major Arcana energy as well, supported from the divine. There is something that you need to make the first move on. And that's going to enable further movement forward, and recognizing on the bottom, you are good enough. So I am worthy, I am valued, I am loved, I am abundant. I am worthy of blessings. Let's have a look at the Queen of the Moon. Queen of the Moon. This is for divine counterparts in union. Divine counterparts in union, divine counterparts in union. Focus is needed on this transformation, and also recognizing that, you know, you may feel like you need to go into a bit of a bubble, and that is to allow the rest of the transformation to take place, and that enlightenment and that activation that's going off there in the crown chakra, if that's resonating for you at all. It's card 14, 1 and 4 is 5, so change. There has been change going on, but the amount of major arcana that's in that spread for Divine Counterparts in union says to me it's a very protected union. So, and it would be if it's a divine counterpart union, of course, because it is from the divine. So very much protected, and certainly there are just some things that need to be taken action with in relation to movement away from that which is not serving you emotionally, receiving that clarity, taking the action. Queen of Wands energy, the fire energy, taking action. Be bold, make the first move, take the action, allow the movement forward, focus on the transformation and healing and the activation in the crown chakra that's going off. But yeah, see, resistance. There could be a bit of resistance. That feels more to be about this leap of faith into something, or even just into a deeper part of the connection. You know, it could be up leveling, and there could be some sort of resistance to that because it's getting more intense, more, you know, stronger connection, which is brilliant. But energetically, it could be feeling overwhelming. And that might be why there's also a bit of resistance in terms of taking a leap into that further step, if that makes sense. But there's movement cards here. So there's progress, there's movement forward, major arcana energy, amazing. I'm going to just pull a card for Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine in the Divine Counterparts in union. Let's use the Universal Weight deck. So Divine Masculine first of all. Divine Masculine. So Divine Masculine with those in union. Thank you. 5 of Wands. Okay, and now let's go for Divine Feminines in union. Divine Feminines in union. Divine Feminines. Oh, those two wanted to be seen. Divine Feminines have got this 5 of Pentacles in reverse with the 8 of Swords and 5 of Wands for the masculine. So there are 2 5s there. So again, change. Masculine may have been feeling like there's some conflict, some challenging, again, fighting for what they want. There could be a bit of an ego battle going on here. That's just something I'm feeling. But certainly challenges. They've been experiencing challenges on this journey. And for the feminine, also, you know, challenges, because this is freeing oneself from these illusionary binds and, you know, being trapped but not actually being trapped, because she can just move through at any point, but it's that illusion of being trapped because it's all up in the mind. But the positive thing is, with this 5 of Pentacles in reverse, it's that recognition that all that's happened has happened for you, feminine, not to you. So it's all been for the highest good, which allows that freedom from those illusionary trappings, because it's recognition of, okay, that's the epiphany, that's the Ace of Swords coming in. I recognise now that pain, that crap that I had to go through was actually for me, and this is why it served a purpose. I've got that realisation now, I've got that epiphany. Part of my transformation has allowed that activation of my crown chakra, and I can understand now why that had to be the case. So now I'm going to move out of these illusionary tethers within the mind of overthinking and stress, because now I need to move forward. I need to ensure that wheel is still turning, and I need to take a leap of faith. And just like the masculine, you know, freeing themselves from the conflict and challenges that could have been internal as well, in terms of taking action on something, and again receiving that activation as part of the transformation and the change that's been going on, to enable that healing with the Star card underneath the Chariot, because that healing, that rebirth, is going to enable that movement forward and that balance as well. Because look, on this card it's depicted beautifully, just like it is on the wheel with the, see, the synchronicities there. Thank you, Spirit. Yeah, so that balance and that synchronicity of the movement forward, based around action that needs to be taken, and something that one or both of you needs to walk away from that's not emotionally fulfilling, freeing yourself from the challenges and conflicts. and moving away from that stress and anxiety, but recognizing that it's all been for a reason, but now it's time to move forward in the direction of stability, security, and abundance. So that's for Divine Counterparts in union. I'm just going to move the cards out of the way, and we'll go to Divine Counterparts who are in separation. Okay, I'm going to use the Spirit Song Tarot. Okay, this is for Divine Counterparts who are currently in separation. What do we have for Divine Counterparts currently in separation? Divine Counterparts in separation. Thank you, Spirit. What do we need to know? Divine Counterparts in separation. What do we need to know? For our highest good, thank you. Three of Feathers in reverse, Three of Swords in reverse. Thank you. Three came out together there. Wow. Six of Crystals, Six of Pentacles, with the Eight of Crystals, Eight of Pentacles, and the Magician. Wow. Okay, I will hold these up after. Beautiful cards. Actually, that one flipped as well. Five of Crystals. Wow. Five of Pentacles. We've just seen that in the other reading. Okay. And then what we have on the bottom is the Three of Crystals, Three of Pentacles. So there's a lot of Pentacles energy here. Okay, so we have, and threes as well, so manifestations. So there could be manifestations going on within this connection, within your connection. Take it as it resonates. Certainly, you know, after the new moon in Pisces that we've had, because we've got three and another three. And we've got the five that's shown up, but also the Magician. So that is the major arcana that we're dealing with here for Divine Counterparts in separation. So Three of Feathers, Three of Swords in reverse. Now that would indicate coming out of that pain and heartbreak that the Three of Swords can depict. Three of Feathers, there's a lighter touch to that pain because it's feather energy. So it feels quite light, quite flowy. So it's almost like there is some recovery from the pain of the past, whether it's within the connection or within separate connections. There's certainly some pain of the past that's being released, part of the heart chakra healing potentially, but also drawn to this butterfly. Again, there's deep transformation going on here. So whether you're in union with your divine counterpart or in separation, there is healing going on across the collective at the moment. And that certainly ties in with the astrology anyway. So there is that recovery going on, which is positive because the healing is being done, releasing work is being done in terms of that pain, acceptance of the lessons that the pain has taught us, and then moving forward, wanting to move forward as part of the healing journey. And then these three came out together. This deck is also beautiful because of the artistry. I mean, look at that. Very spiritual there. So we've got the Magician, manifesting the reality that we desire. So we are the co-creators of our reality with the divine, with the universe. We need to meet the universe halfway within that. Eight of Crystals, Eight of Pentacles does also symbolize putting the work and effort into something. And Six of Crystals is that energy of balance, because when you think of Six of Pentacles, it is that energy of balance. That's how I feel anyway. But we've got two meerkats on the card, and one of the words on this particular card is synergy. So it almost feels like there's manifestations happening, and I mentioned that with the 3-3, didn't I? So there's manifestations happening in relation to this connection. Work is being put in, because these are in the upright. The work and effort is being put in as part of the healing journey, I would say, because of this, and the transformation that's happening, the transformation that's underpinning. Think of that as the foundation to it all, because it's on the bottom as we look at it in reverse. You know, the butterfly, the transformation, is underpinning all of that. So the healing is enabling the transformation, but the transformation is also enabling the healing. And that's allowing for the manifestation and the work and effort being put into this connection to allow the synergy of the two counterparts to come together with that balance, with that dedication, and with that magic as well. But we do have the 5 of crystals, 5 of pentacles. So there might still be that sense of lack because of being in separation. So not surprising in a way that it's come out in the upright, because that could be where one or both counterpart is feeling that lack of not being in physical union with the other counterpart. On this card as well, it does mention about persistence and new possibilities. So I'm drawn to persistence because of what I've seen here, because work and effort is being applied. So there needs to be persistence in the healing journey in order to allow the union to come together. And of course, that takes both parties to do that. And we are all on our own individual journeys. So we can't rush the other person. They can't rush us, as an example. It needs to be that synergy, as is shown here, in terms of the work and effort being put in to bring the counterparts together, because everything is energy, as we know. And on the bottom, this fabulous card with the bee, the 3 of crystals, I was going to say the 3 of crystals. I'm blending my words. So yeah, the 3 of crystals, the 3 of pentacles, is about putting the work and effort in together. It's collaboration, and it's enabling for foundation to be built. So the hidden energy is beautiful, really, because it's saying in the hidden energy, that which you don't know, that which is going on under the surface, is all that work and effort you're putting in on the top, going through all your healing, is actually allowing for that foundation to be built between the two of you. It's just you're not in physical union. So it feels like there's lack, but at the same time, flip it around and be persistent with your healing journey, because it is having the desired effect of building that foundation, allowing that collaboration to come forth, and allowing the magician to truly get to work. Underneath that, King of Feathers, King of Swords. So logic, using the logical mind to cut through to the truth of the situation. And on top of that, we're sitting this 3 of Pentacles energy. So certainly underpinning the productivity and the foundation building that's going on in the hidden energy is that truth, is that essence of wisdom and truth, which is just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, I'm going to still use the same deck, and I'm going to take a card for the Divine Masculine. So Divine Masculines in separation. What do we need to know? Divine Masculines in separation. Divine Masculines in separation. Thank you. That one did a twirl. Right, it was meant to come out this way. So 10 of Shells, 10 of Cups in reverse, okay? And then for the Divine Feminines in separation. Thank you. Wow. The World in reverse. So we saw the World in the other spread with Divine Counterparts in union. And that was also in reverse. Very interesting synchronicity there. So you can tell just from this that on a collective level, we are all having to face cycle closeouts of some kind, and that is supported by the astrology information, because we've got, you know, Pluto wanting to bring that deep transformation and to purge everything that, well, it's going to sound harsh me saying it, but all that gunk from the pit of our soul you know, that needs to be purged from all that pain of the past. That's part of our healing journey that we've been going on. And Pluto is not messing around with that. We need to close out cycles that are not serving us. You know, this is the, you know, when you think of the death card in tarot, that is that scorpionic energy. Pluto is, of course, the ruler of Scorpio, and Pluto will be moving into Aquarius later on in March. We've got Saturn moving into Pisces beforehand on the 7th of March. And, you know, there could be lessons that are brought to the surface because it's the same day as the full moon. So a massive illumination of karma and lessons. Have we learnt the lessons from the previous cycle as we move forward into the new cycle? So there's lots about cycles at the moment. And through our transformation, we are being called to close out that which isn't serving us. So that's a natural thing that I'm sure many of you have been feeling as well. But we have two cards here. So first for the masculine, we've got 10 of Shells, 10 of Cups in reverse. 10 of Cups is that emotional fulfillment. It's also a cycle card because it's 10. And it's kind of, you know, that sort of dream of being with the person you love, having that emotional fulfillment. You know, sometimes can relate to a family on the card as well, but it's certainly that overflowing emotional fulfillment and abundance from love, you know, from the Cups energy. But it's in reverse, so the masculine is not feeling very emotionally fulfilled at the moment, and there could be an aspect of the well-being because on this card it says well-being, so it's in reverse. So they could be struggling with health matters as a result of all of this going on energetically, because we have metaphysical things going on. And it could be that, you know, this healing, I'm drawn to this again, moving away from pain of the past or that which is causing pain, allowing the transformation and not resisting it, could be making the masculine feel quite unhappy and unloved and not very well, because they're having to realize a lot of things that are not emotionally serving them. The feminine also has a cycle card with the World in reverse. And this is a whale on there, if I'm right in saying that. But again, there's fulfillment from that, because the World is almost that completion of the cycle where you get the happy ending and then it would reset back to the Fool taking a leap of faith into the new cycle. So there are endings going on for both masculine and feminine, not surprising because of the healing journey. And it's potentially heavier for the feminine because of the major arcana being on the feminine side with the World. So there are major cycle closeouts that the feminine is going through, and the masculine, it's concerning emotional fulfillment, happiness, and also well-being as well. And perhaps not feeling like they have their blessings, because blessings is also on the card as well. But the two not really feeling emotionally fulfilled. It's that recognition that underneath what we saw with that Three of Crystals, Three of Pentacles, that the hidden energy is throughout the healing, throughout the pain, throughout these feelings of not being fulfilled, there needs to be persistence rather than that lack mentality of I'm not fulfilled, I'm not with my divine counterpart. Why is this happening to me? Because in the hidden energy, the healing work is paying off. And we've got Knight of Acorns, Knight of Wands there. So there is movement towards a passionate beginning. And, you know, again, hidden energy for the masculine, feminine. Let's just see what we've got. I've kind of mixed it up a bit, but go with where I'm drawn. So Queen of the Moon. Okay, this is for Divine Counterparts in separation. What do we need to know? What do we need to know? Thank you. Blossoming, yeah. Wow, look at this. Thank you so much, Spirit. 3-3. You can't get much clearer than that, can you? I mentioned 3-3, manifestations. This connection, this union is being manifested, and there is beauty in the blossoming of that, even if it feels uncomfortable, because look, she's playing that violin. Now, admittedly, when jokes are had and there can be a bit of sorrow, it's almost, oh, I'll get the violin out, you know, as a bit of a throwaway statement. But there's light coming from that violin. So the music that's being played, whether it's pain, or whether it's happiness, there is still beauty and there is still growth, because it's blossoming, but it's blossoming underneath, you see? So it's blossoming underneath. Beautiful. I feel like there might be another one. Divine Counterparts in Separation. Yep, I knew there was. Maybe need to self-reflect, because that's on the bottom. Wow, balance. Yeah, card number 19 there. So 1 and 9 is 10. Again, cycle close out to bring balance, to bring justice. And this feels very much about crown chakra and heart chakra, just feeling that there seems to be this activation within the heart chakra to bring about the balance. And that activation in the heart chakra is allowing for that pain to be transmuted, to be worked through, healed, transmuted, to dissipate, etc. To be accepted even as part of the transformation, to bring that balance. But that activation is helping then the manifestation and the persistence and the work and effort being applied with the magician energy into this connection. You know, both parties putting the work and effort in, because cycles are closing out, and that's mirrored on both sides. Okay. Moonology, let's see what we have. Divine Counterparts in Separation. What do we need to know? Bear with me, that one flew. Bear with me. Well, there we go. So there is a need to surrender to the divine, full moon energy. We were talking about the full moon, weren't we? And that's come up on both sides, because we had the 8 of Cups in the other spread with the massive full moon on it. And now we've got an even bigger full moon here, surrender to the divine, and it was in reverse. So there is a need to surrender. So admittedly, with the feeling of, you know, I'm not with my divine counterpart. This healing journey is hard. It's hard going. You know, I'm processing things, but it is hard going. There is that need to surrender to the divine, because, again, the foundation that's being built as a result of this healing journey is powerful, and cycles are needing to close out, but this is mirrored. So it's not like one is, you know, against the other. This is mirrored energy. And I was just saying, it could be hard, could be tough. On the bottom, the end of a tough cycle approaches. Also full moon energy. Admittedly, it's Capricorn, but that's what makes me think of Saturn. And Saturn is moving into Pisces the same day as the full moon. So a beautiful synchronicity there as well. Thank you, Spirit. Full moon, that's going to be very powerful for divine counterparts, whether in union or in separation, to release, to truly work with this lunar energy, to release that which is not serving us emotionally. That's going to be paramount to these connections. Even if you can't see the results in the physical, tangible way, the underpinning results are speaking volumes on both sides. There's movement, heavy movement with major arcana energy for those in union, and there is foundations being built to bring the unions together with those in separation. So it's working. This releasing work, yes, it's hard, but the end of a tough cycle approaches. We've got to be persistent. So yeah, look at that. Underneath that, a new start is coming. Now we know time is an illusion, and no tarot reader should ever put a time on anything. So if you are receiving those, I would question it, because time is an illusion. But a new start is coming. It doesn't say when, of course. And you could be thinking, well, Kirsty, that could be like in a year. It's however it applies to your journey in divine timing. Remember what we saw? Surrender to the divine. It will be when it will be. But the healing journey is paramount to all of this. We can't rush ourselves with the healing journey. We need to take time to process, to acknowledge, because we're learning the wisdom then in order to release. If we're still carrying that pain with us, we're not really healing from it. So it takes as long as it takes. Apply it for your own journey. Now, I'm going to actually use the Astro Codes deck, and I'm going to take a card for Divine Counterparts in Union and Divine Counterparts in Separation. So first of all, Divine Counterparts in Union. That's interesting that those two came out together. Solar flares and Saturn. Whoosh. Okay. Just when I split the deck, those two popped out to say hello. Okay. Divine Counterparts in Union. What do we have, please, from the Astro Codes deck? Sagittarius energy, expand in reverse. So yes, you need to allow yourself to expand fully into this process together in union, to expand in the union. I mentioned before, didn't I, that the leap of faith could simply be an up-leveling in your union as things are getting more intense, as you're becoming more connected. There is an expansion of that. So your connection is expanding, and energetically you're being called to expand with it, to embrace that energy of the connection as it's up leveling. But again, there might be some resistance to that for whatever reason. So healing journey again paramount, but the Jupiter energy significant. So you could check out, of course, where Jupiter is in your chart, but recognize that Jupiter, or rather the glyph that I saw, was on the top of the Wheel of Fortune. So, you know, it's definitely an expansive time, and there was the hope element as well with the star energy. So we have got that Jupiter energy showing up, but there is a need to expand fully into the connection. And we have Mars on the bottom. So this is in the hidden energy, so the more masculine side of it, but it says motion. So again, movement was coming up for those in union. There's movement. The connection is moving forward. It's accelerating. It's expanding. So there is a need to grab hold of that, to move forward with the energy, and to feel comfortable in doing so, of course, by going through the healing journey that you need to, as applicable for your situation. Beautiful. Okay, so Divine Counterparts in Separation. 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 The Sun in reverse, source energy. And on the bottom, 11th house, community. Very interesting. Yeah. So to have this majestic energy show up for Divine Counterparts in Separation, there is source energy at play here. And again, that could be quite overwhelming. So as we're going through our healing journey, and this is for anybody in the collective, it can be very, very testing, very, very trying, because it's hard and we have to face these challenges, but growth comes from that. The beauty comes from the growth as well. So the sun is that soul essence shining brightly, and the sun shines no matter what. So it's maintaining a positive outlook whilst going through the healing journey, whether it's feminine or masculine. And this applies to everybody, but you know, it's for those in separation. There is source energy all over this. And that's why I feel that the surrender to the divine came up in reverse as well. Now look at that, sun and moon. Just thinking of that. But definitely the need to surrender to the divine, the need to surrender to source energy that is powering these unions, divine connections. I'm not talking about karmic ones that are just there to serve a lesson. to serve as a lesson. I mean, there is a purpose to them. There is a purpose, absolutely 100%. But I'm talking about divine counterpart connections here. So this is all about recognizing there's source energy at play, because it's a divinely guided connection. And that need to surrender to that can also be overwhelming. And that's where some energetic resistance can come into play without even realizing it. But recognizing, as I was saying before, that the healing that's been going on, that recovery that's been going on, movement away from that pain, is allowing for those manifestations of the unions coming together to take shape. There is just that need to surrender to the divine and surrender to source energy, supporting the coming together of divine counterparts. And with the 11th house community, it's recognizing those around you that are there to support you as part of your soul tribe, as part of your soul family, and knowing that that's all about connections. The 11th house, it's all about connections. So the fact that we have that coming out with this, the divine is all over this connection. I think that sums it up really, doesn't it? So yes, I hope that finds you well. Sorry it's been a long reading, but I wanted to sort of do the two together. And again, it takes the time it takes to get the messages out. I don't feel they should be rushed, especially if Spirit has certain messages that need to come out, because it's going to resonate for somebody, not going to resonate for all of you. The collective is vast, and I need to just remind you of that. If it's not your story, if it's not resonating at all, that is absolutely fine. Park it, walk away. It could be someone else's. But if it is resonating for you, and there is just some glimmer of wisdom that you can gain from it, or some insight into how you might be feeling, and if it resonates for you and it makes sense to you and it helps uplift, inspire and empower you on your journey, then I've done my job as a light worker. So I'm sending you love and blessings. Keep up the healing journey, keep going. There's beauty in the growth, it's blossoming, there are foundations being built, there are unions coming together, and there is just that need to surrender to the divine, surrender to source energy. And for those who are in union already, major amount of energy with the major arcana coming out. There is movement, there is progression, but it feels like those connections that are already in place are expanding. So there is a need to actually move with that expansion of the energy, and that's what could feel uncomfortable. So hope that finds you well. Take care, and I'll see you soon.